G'day guys and welcome back to West Underground. Tonight, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time you're tuning in, we are here with another hot band. You might have seen them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. They are known as none other than Terabyte. We have not the whole band today because they're busy boys, but we do have Ash and we do have Max. And today, Hamish and I will be interviewing them on a little bit about the backstory, a little bit about desires and other things between here and there. We're kicking it back on the couch. Welcome, boys. Round of applause for none other than Terabyte. Now, I'm not Elon Musk. You're not Elon Musk. I know Steve Jobs, terabytes, gigabytes, megabytes. A bit of a different spelling change. T-E-R-R-O-R-B-I-T-E. Tell us a little bit about the name of the band. How did you guys get started? And let's go from there.
It all came around just from a bit of a laugh, really. It was just a bit of band members exiting, that kind of stuff. And
the terror of a band member deciding to do something else.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then just from a bit of drama from there, we were kind of laughing at, their exit out of the band and how they kind of wanted us to how they wanted us to send them some stuff, some files from them leaving. And we had a whole joke about that, and
the terror of choosing which flower to send. Do I send a tulip? Do I send a rose?
It was more around
maybe the size of that.
It was more about a USB, really. Like it's as dumb as that. Yeah.
So was it like a what would you? How do I phrase
the
it?
terrors like of the bytes that were, or that
they just wanted us to send a bunch of shit on a USB.
Was it really petty?
It was really petty,
that's what I'm going for.
And so we were just how the fuck do you want us to send us your stuff, our stuff on a USB? Like that's just dumb. So
and expect us to pay for it.
Yeah, expect us to pay
and
for
the
it.
postage fee.
Yeah. There you go. So we were like, ha, terabytes, bit of a joke, and then our singer, Michael, he was just kind of mucking around with the word a little bit. And, from our sound, we kind of wanted something a bit more sharper, a bit of like an attack to it, So he was thinking more of like a spider, like a spider rearing up, ready to attack. So he took a bit of the joke aspect, a bit of the visual aspect that he wanted, put it together, and that's how he came up with the word Terabyte.
Terabyte. Is Spider-Man your favourite superhero by any chance? I mean, he's a pretty good one.
I like Superman.
You like Superman? What about yourself?
Don't have any comments.
Not partial towards a superhero. No. Well, let's go.
Did you miss that phase?
Kind of.
You look a bit like the Man of Steel yourself.
Me?
Over there with the glasses on, disguised as Clark.
I was going to go more like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, who takes on trainers and. I
just thought maybe he could be the Man of Steel, just disguised with the glasses. That's the Superman's whole thing.
Potentially,
it depends where you
to the specs.
Depends where you want to call the hero, because if you're going to do that, I was a huge Pokemon fan, so I'll take Ash. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Pretty happy with that.
Short for Ashley and Maxwell. Didn't hear it here first, but. Tell us about how the band formed. Tell us a little bit about the highs and lows, some highlight stories perhaps, and where you are today and where you're going. So that, our new audience, because not everyone knows everyone, can get a better feel.
So Max and I met when we were in uni, just playing under another name and stuff like that with a bunch of other people.
Macquarie.
We went to Macquarie.
Macquarie, yep. Macquarie is represent.
Yeah, are you from there?
I may or may not have gone to Macquarie Ride, yeah.
Shout out to Macquarie.
We pretty much met there, played in a bunch of bands and stuff like that.
At the ranch?
We didn't live there.
Nah.
We just met in class.
All right, cool.
Studying... I studied Bachelor of Arts.
You did music, but we're both in the music unit that we met, so...
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
And you just jived, kind of clicked?
Yeah. Got along pretty easily.
And that was how many years ago?
2015.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking 5 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done. It's easier said than done to stay together for 5 years and counting.
Yes.
And put up with each other. I think he puts up with my shit. I'm
a bit more annoying than he is. Like, he's pretty mature in that, but I'm pretty childish, to be honest.
So it's a bit of a dynamic duo, a bit of a yin-yang.
I kind of push people a bit.
Yeah, you got to balance each other out, So playing under another name and everything like that, that didn't go as planned.
Keep a bit.
Yeah, and then we met our current singer, Michael. We were really wanting someone who had that.
Shout out to Michael, mate. Where are you?
not here. But yeah, we met him. Yeah, and he had what we wanted. You know, we wanted someone who had that rock and roll vibe, that rock and roll voice, and he could play guitar.
Mhm.
So we wanted someone to also
It's
fill in
always
on.
an advantage.
Yeah,
Just for our viewers again, your role in the band is
play drums.
drums and
Guitar.
Good
so
stuff.
percussion and guitar meets lead singer also
Yeah.
at Macquarie or
No, we met him on a like through a Facebook
through
like
the digital
ad.
sphere.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And our ex bassist at the time, he really liked Van Halen, he really liked Metallica, I really liked Guns N' Roses, and funnily enough, on his Michael's ad to get into the band, he was saying like, you know, I'm inspired by these three bands, looking for a band to join. So we heard him sing a couple of things. He sent us a clip of him doing, I think, Unchained by Van Halen
Yeah,
and You Could Be Mine by Guns N' Roses, and
Oh.
I looked at Max and I'm like, yeah, this is the dude.
You
Like,
guys
this is the
are so
dude. you want.
lucky. Like,
Elaborate on
quick,
that.
a quick little off story. We put an ad up a while ago for a singer, and we had about a couple different candidates. And every time we met these guys, or would invite these guys in to kind of have a bit of a meet and greet and about talk about musical inspirations. One day we had this bloke turn up in the on the coldest winter day you've ever seen in your life. Like it was absolutely freezing to the point like when you breathe, like you can just see the condensation come out. And this guy rocks up in like shorts and a t-shirt and no shoes, and we're like, how? Are you even alive? Are you even
Yeah.
human? And we just had a few weird encounters with finding singers that way. But you guys seem like you just got really lucky then and really...
To be honest,
What happened after that? Like,
Oh, what happened after
I want to hear more of the story.
Right?
Well, we brought him inside and we were kind of chatting about what we wanted to do, and we were just like all looking at each other like, and he was giving these kind of vague answers about what he's doing and his musical inspirations, and we kind of felt a bit scared by his presence all the time because like it was so cold to the point where like, how are you not even affected by this? Like, are you even human? Like,
Yeah, right.
we're just like, and also he just came off with this kind of, I don't know, cold vibe. Maybe he's frozen from the inside.
And then you never heard from him?
And then
or-
we kind of like, oh, we'll keep you in touch.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of frontmen or lead singers and stuff, you've posted something on Facebook here. They got a few followers here or there, guys. Who have we got?
You got Axel, and then you got
Oh, come
Steven
on.
Tyler, and you got David Lee Roth.
Yes, you do.
Who do they mean to you, Hamish?
Well, Guns N' Roses was my first inspiration. It was one of those bands that I first heard that I was like, wow, what a voice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Top three.
You got it. You got it.
And David Lee Roth's just such a character, and Steven Tyler is somebody who I'm maybe appreciating like now rather than...
Are you the frontman for...
No, I just play guitar. I'm just
Okay.
like you, Max.
Well, do you agree that one of those is a character, or are they all?
No, they're all
characters?
characters in their
they're all
own way, but I
characters,
just
like,
appreciate-
Who's the biggest character?
Axl.
Of those three.
Axel for sure.
Axel.
I reckon Axel.
I think...
And why
like,
so? That's the guy.
What about him?
I'm pretty sure he's got like Italian background.
does he?
Pretty sure I read it in a Rolling Stones magazine, and he had to like fight for attention at the dinner table because everyone was like shouting, "Yeah, comprende, comprende."
Yeah, right.
Go like that. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's what bred it. But what about Axel? Would you say put him in the top three?
I think for him it's that you just don't want to get on his bad side. I saw an interview of we heard this lady. She was doing a talk at Frankie's about what's his name from Motley Crue, Vince Neil. Vince
Okay.
Neil and Axl Rose apparently because they had a lot of beef in the 80s and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And someone from the crowd said like, "Oh, who would you bet on in a fight between those two?" And she said, "Look, Vince Neil, yeah, sure, but Axl, I wouldn't want to get on his bad side. He could seriously fuck you up." And I think
Lived
that's
a bit of a life, eh?
yeah, and I think that's what makes Axl the character that he is. He's not afraid to tell it how it is. Great frontman, perfect voice for the Appetite era and everything like that. So for me, I think that's what defines him as
And
a
in
good
his
frontman.
absence, how would you describe your frontman?
Sorry, what did you mean by that?
Your frontman being the lead singer that couldn't make it today. Like, how would you describe your singer?
I think
Oh,
Michael.
terrible.
I think Michael definitely follows pretty well in Axel's footsteps. You know, he definitely has that voice. He definitely has that presence on stage, and I mean, I guess
Who's
we
got
can
the best taste in fashion?
think me.
And who can hold each other? Who can hold themselves the longest when it comes to a drink out on the town?
Max.
Max?
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen the other two.
To be honest, I think
What's your drink?
Well, whatever's the cheapest usually.
Really? Okay.
He's
Not
an
the
economic
strongest.
man.
Nah, whatever's the cheapest.
Okay. So
Usually.
What about yourself, Ash? Are you a bit more distinguished in choice?
I'm a Guns N' Roses fan. I like
Okay.
Slash a lot, so I think
Alright.
it's only fair to go down the JD and Coke route.
Yeah,
Very
okay.
much a fan of that. I like the sweetness of it. Alcohol is nice, but at the end of the day, it does taste a bit like shit. Like it's still alcohol.
Have you
so-
done many live gigs, and do you find yourself happily going through an entire live gig without, taking a swig of something sugary?
Like, do you guys drink before you play?
I haven't. I don't think
No.
anyone has.
I honestly don't trust myself to do something like that.
Really?
I think
Not even a Coke or a cola,
like Coke or
like Pepsi.
yeah, right, okay.
Maybe some lemonade.
I mean, water. I think just me as a drummer, I get pretty thirsty, so a bit of water. I'd say it's
lemon
not bad.
infused, bit of tonic.
Not that bougie.
Yeah.
Have a couple of beers before.
No, I think of it like playing a show as like, in a way, sort of preparing for a sports match. Like as if you're an athlete. Like you want to prepare, being hydrated. Warming up. I think it's best to be clear-headed for the best performance
Yeah.
for me.
One of the questions we like to ask bands that we have on the show here at West Underground is, what's one of your favourite venues that you've already played at?
I'd say Frankie's.
Frankie's.
Yeah.
You're getting
I-
a pretty good street cred. Other than Frankie's,
I would honestly say Brighton Upper. Sadly, I don't know when they're coming back, but I really like
are they?
playing.
So they're kind of like closed because of COVID-19 and all that that's going on. Is that what you're saying? Or
From
No, they were
what I
closed for
heard-
renovation
Yeah.
before, and
Yeah, so
I don't know what's
when.
really happened since.
coronavirus?
Well, we played there.
Well, that was they closed down for renovation last year.
Yeah.
So
okay.
because we were trying to book another show there, and that's what they told us. But
Was that one of your highlight gigs then?
Yeah,
Would you say paint
it was
us a
our
bit of a
first.
picture,
It was
like,
our first single launch.
How many people do you reckon were just jamming out to Terabyte?
Oh, this is probably one of the parts you want to cut out.
Oh, mate, you tell me the number. How many figures? 3
Okay.
figures, 2 figures?
If we're gonna
1
say the
figure,
best-
10 figures, somewhere
Oof.
around there.
It was just exciting, I think, because it was the first time we put on a show. It was Terabyte.
So it was meaningful.
Yes,
Yeah.
but there weren't a lot of people. There was like
That's all right.
60 people.
That's all right.
That's a fair number.
If we're gonna
Were, they
talk best,
were you vibing?
I think it was pretty good for the number of people there.
Yeah.
So-
if we're
Yeah.
gonna talk best gigs, I'd definitely say our last single launch was the
Yeah.
best one.
Not My Desire.
Well, My Desire.
My Desire.
Yeah, My Desire.
That
That was
in,
at Hideaway Bar.
Talk
yeah.
us through that Hideaway.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brighton is
Yeah.
one of the favorites, and also Hideaway Bar. I mean, it's
For those that don't know how to get to Hideaway, how do we get there? Sydney, obviously.
yeah.
Where
So
specifically?
the Hideaway.
So go
Because
to
it's hidden, but
yeah.
on
Yeah.
West Underground we like to reveal
yeah.
hidden
So
secrets,
get on the train to Newtown and then
Okay.
walk 8 minutes to
Yeah.
Enmore, and then you'll get to Hideaway Bar.
There you go.
down the road from Enmore.
And it is literally hidden. Like it's
It is.
behind this.
It is.
Behind this like this little door. Like I remember the first gig we ever played together with me and the bass player who's behind the camera, which you can't see. Do you want to make a little cameo and stick your head in the front?
He's doing a good job. He's doing a good.
Hey.
Hey,
There it is. Yeah.
Mr. 30 Rock. Yeah.
So tell us your Hideaway story.
Yeah, so we booked what happened was we found this I found this singer at TAFE while I was there and I booked all these guys who I knew. I knew a drummer and I knew Alec who played bass from working, and I knew all these guys and I kind of called them and we had like a little jam sesh up in my bedroom, and this guy carried his drums and set it all up there. And after that I booked a gig at the Hideaway, and we weren't a band, but I was like, I booked a gig.
See what a little hangout can do.
We have
Yeah.
we have to play now. And
Yeah.
they're like, we can't. And I'm like, yeah, we can.
Kind of have to.
It's like a month away now. We have to get our shit together. We're
Yeah.
not a band.
Yeah.
So the band has how many members again?
4.
And are all of you single, taken, available for the ladies watching?
Well, I see a ring on your
Partner.
finger, sir.
Partner for actually come close to 8 years.
Ash is off limits for 8 years.
What,
That's commitment
but
to
Max?
yourself,
I'm off
Max.
limits too.
Okay. Is there anyone that needs a wingman in the band?
Kaylin, maybe.
Well, that's yet to be discovered.
I mean, yeah, I think Kalen can hold his own though. Like, I think he's a very talented musician.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he doesn't.
Have you dealt with groupies?
No,
Do you
Like I
wanna
said, partner
do you
for
wanna
8
deal
years.
with groupies? I guess you can't
No.
because you've already been. You know.
no, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. That's good. 8 years.
Yeah, since high school,
I'm a 1992 baby myself.
97.
97. So, and I'm still single, mate. So, what's the secret?
I mean, I really like her.
Focus
you know?
in school, study hard, and you might find love.
Well, funny story actually. I took a lot of sick days up until year 10,
Yeah.
just because I didn't really like school that much.
Yeah.
I met my partner, and then by the end of year 12, I got a
Do you think she'd be watching this or listening to this?
Oh, she definitely
Do
will.
you want to give her a shout out?
Yeah.
Nina. Shout out to you for
What
being
about
awesome.
yourself, Max? Any shout out to some special songs out there?
I'll shout out to Leah.
That's it. And Caleb's holding his own.
Yes. So
Caelan's an adventure man.
he's an adventure man.
He likes to go hiking, and he
I wonder what
likes
it's
to-
like, Nina, to be
skiing.
married to a terabyte. I wonder. You can enjoy that one later on.
You're really hyping us up,
Much
like-
better to be married to a terabyte than a gigabyte.
Indeed, because you've just
It's
got so
just-
much
it's
more
just-
capacity.
I know. It's way better.
You're really hyping us up, and I'm so glad we came here today.
Hey
Like,
mate, don't get me started on the gigabytes, but at the same time, like West
1,000
Underground
times
is
better.
not afraid to mess with terabytes.
No,
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
not.
I love
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, anyone that's got a big data hub out there floating in an iceberg tube. I know that you're saving money on overheating prices. We are sitting with the terabytes.
it. Sponsor these guys.
Any quick questions, Hamish? Do we have a game for these boys? Because I have played games with a few bands.
Yeah, well, have you got any in mind, mate?
Yeah, so it's called 3 words. So basically what I do is I look for Terabyte on Spotify, for example,
Oh yeah.
and I mention a few songs that are on there, and then you tell me the first 3 words that come to mind. So
Alright.
let's start with
are you-
2019 single, Don't Leave.
Or
First 3 words that come to mind.
uh,
Stay.
don't leave Jazz 3.
Jazz 3, can you expand upon that a little bit? What do you mean by Jazz 3? Like,
Well, Michael, our other guitarist and our singer, wanted to use a Jazz 3 pick in the studio, but that didn't go down too well when we went to record because our producer wouldn't let him use that pick. So he
Okay.
picked up the pick and he threw it away, saying, "You're not using that. This is what
Why?
you're using." He believes they don't move the strings enough.
Ooh.
Do you have
Is
any
there
experience
a
with
Jazz
that?
4, Jazz 5?
Not that I know of.
What pick did he replace it with?
Not sure. He had a whole
Blue one? I don't know.
he had a whole selection of picks.
Yeah, he I think he let
Did
it
he
pick from
replace
his
it with
own.
a USB?
He did bring a USB that day, I remember, to show some isolated guitar parts.
Yeah. In terms of my 3 words for Don't Leave, I think interesting because it was the first time that I got to play in a band that I really wanted to put together. Like under our old names, we were kind of just.
So it's kind of a bit about commitment,
I think.
staying together.
Oh, you mean the
Bondage?
song?
Yeah. Well, the first thing was interesting. Then you said you wanted to stay together. I'm trying to expand upon that first word you're giving. To
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you meant like. For me, the word interesting came from the experience of recording Don't
Yeah.
Leave. Because like I said, it was the first time that I got to play in a band where I was playing the exact kind of music that I wanted to as well.
Nice.
So it was really exciting to know that I was in that kind of an environment. Because under old names and, previous musicians, we were just kind of playing a little bit of everything. And, it was a bit of compromise saying, I don't really want to play this, but we'll play this because the rest of the band wants to do it. So that was definitely why I chose interesting for Don't Leave. It was definitely cool being in the recording studio, especially with Michael, hearing him kind of do his own thing. Like, again, big Guns N' Roses fan, and to be in a band where
Favorite
your
Guns N' Roses song?
favorite Guns N' Roses song.
I just asked him his favorite song of Appetite the other day.
You might have to get me in here for another interview
Yeah,
for Guns N' Roses. Like I could.
Yeah, I do. I have Night Train. That's my favorite one on the album, and I just can't. I just think that's the best riff in my opinion. I don't know why. I just love that one.
I think
then Paradise City comes next.
I think November Rain for me, like that's a banger. Of
The
a
whole
song.
song?
The whole song. Oh,
I'm a November baby myself. And
okay.
happy birthday to the boys in June, by the
Thank
way,
you.
that has just passed. On a somber note, COVID-19 happened. How's it been affecting you? I know you guys were supposed to play at the Townie the other month.
Yes,
A bit of a heartbreaker.
it was a bit
How did you
unfortunate.
guys handle that? Are you guys adapting well? I mean, we're very happy to have you on the show.
Yeah.
But like, what's it like? 4 terabyte during, post-coronavirus?
Yeah, it's good. It's allowed us to get on top of some other things that we weren't doing that we should have done. Like we've organized some merch sort of things. Like
Okay.
we got a banner,
Stubby
We've
holders?
T-shirts, we've got stickers. We're thinking of getting some pics, and I guess also during the whole time of not being able to do band practice, it just sort of allowed us to kind of talk about what we wanted to do as well, like what our plans were, what we wanted to do on social media each week.
Yeah.
It
I hope they
it
weren't
made
just
us-
3 picks.
made us tidy up our Facebook, Instagram.
So really, just
working
work on the
our
social media.
Spotify a bit as well, like growing that a bit. Also just forcing us to think of things that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise or have done otherwise, and also just showing us that we can actually still be productive for long periods of time without meeting up.
Yeah.
Like
Would that be one of the biggest lessons probably learned?
I think
100%.
so. Like,
Yeah,
we would
100%.
still, each Sunday, we practice on Sundays, but every Sunday we would still talk on the phone for like usually 1 to 2 hours,
Yeah.
and, still work towards an agenda, and still usually walk away from that chat with a list of things that we're going to do before the next week.
I just want to elaborate on something you said there, because I thought it was very important about how you're talking about how you use COVID-19 as this important time to kind of reflect and clean up your, I suppose your social media and learn marketing and
It's a learning curve.
well,
isn't it?
absolutely.
We're adapting
And,
Darwin's theory of evolution.
and I just wondered,
Why?
maybe for you guys, have you realized also like and this was a big awakening for me as well, like the potential reach on social media is way greater than you would have had, previously playing gigs. Like, some of your content that you can share and you can promote and you can boost and stuff like that, and all the rest of it, will get seen by hundreds of people compared to, if you may have a venue and you have 50 people in there.
Yeah, you're saying 60 people in Brighton, and I'm looking at My Desire, for example. It's already got over 1,000 streams on Spotify. So that puts things into perspective in terms of where the attention's going, right?
I think you definitely would say COVID, it was really bad for Sydney's music scene and everything like that. But I think for us, it just allowed us to focus on the social media aspect, allowed us to clean up our act a little bit, so that when we do get to 2021 and gigs start to open up a bit more, we're more prepared for that. We're wanting to get back in the studio.
Put that Macquarie mindset to use, right?
So what was that?
Put the Macquarie mindset to use.
That's the one. Yeah.
It may represent.
So yeah, like we want to get back into the studio. Get the next single done. We're changing up our live set just a little bit. I guess we can talk more about that if you'd like. And coming out with new merch. Trying to make our stage even just look at that little bit different to what other bands are doing. Of set ourselves apart so that we.
Yeah, let's talk about points of differentiation for Terabyte. Why am I going to go out and watch Terabyte versus someone else in this space and time? And you mentioned live sets and stuff. Like, give us a little bit of a tease without revealing all your secrets. Like, give us a taste of what we could expect post 2020.
So we're sort of trying to redo how we want to do our live shows, I guess. We want to think about how we could be more visually appealing, as well as, working on playing the songs better. I mean, that's another good thing about coronavirus. Like, we've just been, doing the songs over and over and over. So we're now, we're now, probably ready to take a gig whenever, when everyone comes. But yeah, in terms of being more visually appealing, we're thinking of how we can sort of catch people's attention more, like, with lighting, how we move around on stage, We're
West
also looking.
Underground.
We're also looking at
Yeah,
potentially
being on the
getting
show, like
potentially getting a new member as well. Actually, as a additional guitarist, allowing our frontman Michael
If there's
to.
any guitarists out there listening that want to, have a little bit of a bangaroo,
oh, we actually have a guy coming tomorrow, which we're really stoked
so
about.
get your applications into their Instagram
Right
Very
now.
quickly.
because I'm telling you what, they're snapping away at the heels already.
Yeah, so that'll allow Michael to just focus more on interacting with an audience and more on his vocals as well. To focus on his breathing and the technical side of things, but also just to move around a lot more and focus more on the audience, so we can focus more on what we're doing. And I think it'll be a good move forward.
I think it's ideal to have 2 guitar players.
Yeah.
So but then it's just hard to have 5 in a band. You know?
Yeah.
That was my concern as well. But we'll have to see how that goes.
The dynamic.
I guess at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for the music, though, right? Like you can't speculate too much. You don't know what it's going to be like. And for us, it's like, well, if we always like to pick someone to join the band as long as they can get along with us. So if you really have someone else in the band and they're almost a second version of what you already are, like I don't feel it'll be that hard. And like people have characters, people have personalities. You just have to kind of deal with it. But if the music is what it's serving, they're a really good member. They're able to add to the band, and the band can progress to a whole new height with them.
Yeah.
Why not have them there, kind of thing? So, and it's allowing Michael to do a bunch of other stuff as well. Be a more in-your-face frontman, follow in the footsteps of someone like Axl Rose, Steven Tyler. And David Lee Roth. So we're pretty excited about it. We can't wait to see where it goes.
Well, that's what you want too. You don't want when you give your front person, I suppose, a piano or a guitar. You kind of cement them down a bit. Where if you take it away, now the stage is their playground, I suppose.
Yeah. And frontmen love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what he's always wanted. Like he came into the band 2 years ago, but he actually applied to be a singer. And then when he was messaging Ash, I think Ash just said, just bring your guitar along as well. And then he came with his guitar, and then there was no discussion around it. He just started playing guitar. It was just assumed, okay, he plays guitar, so he's going to play guitar. But we're looking for a vocalist, and if they can play guitar, it's a bonus. But now that we have him, and we've done that for a couple of years.
There we are now. Entertain us. I mean, look, I'm
That's
sorry.
got one guitar.
I'm sorry to cut it short, but other than my desire, which is currently streaming live on Spotify, you can follow Terabyte on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, maybe in the later stages. I don't know. Any message?
That's a good way of saying it.
Any message for your fans? I know you're being humble, but they do have quite a few. What would you like to say to them? Any parting words before we close up here on West Underground Podcast? It's been a pleasure.
I guess just thank you for following us and supporting our music, and stick around. Hopefully we can grow more and give our fans a little bit more of what they want to hear.
Absolutely. Quick question, guys, just before we wrap up. What advice would you have for any other musicians out there who are looking to start a band or maybe be in a band?
Don't worry about thinking what you don't know how to do. Just do everything you know how to do. Set yourself a target. Once you reach that target, you'll then know where the next point is.
And be with the right musicians, I think.
Because you can sit there being like, oh, I don't know how to get, 1,000 streams or 100 people to a gig, but, get 50 people to a gig, then you'll be like, oh, we did this well, we didn't do this well. And you'll get more people, and then you keep growing. So just do what you know how to do. Don't worry about what you don't know.
Boys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much
Once
for having
again,
us.
it's been Terabyte on West Underground. Until next time, stay tuned.
Thank you so much.